Hey everyone, it's Sammy from Sammy's Sweet Life, and you are sitting on the washing machine. I thought I would fold these clothes and just do a little quick chit-chat video. I'm kind of doing cleaning today, I'm kind of filming videos, but I'm in between that, and I wanted to talk about something that's kind of been on my mind. Now, I love filming, I love editing, I love planning out the videos. It's very type A for me, where I really enjoy doing all this stuff. I was running back and forth getting camera equipment because I'm like, while I'm folding these, I have something that's on my mind. I want to discuss it. And so, I'm a little out of breath. I love all that aspect of everything. The sharing and the planning and the type A part of it. I love watching the numbers grow, and it feeds this like type A side that I have, that I really just enjoy that type of thing. It's rewarding in the way that I get to connect with you guys on this level and be able to talk with you guys about things. It's really just a fun thing that I can do to make myself feel like more kind of myself. It's a creative outlet for me, and I really enjoy aspects of it like that. But there are parts that are tough, and I've watched a few videos recently about people kind of getting real about the dark side of YouTube and all that stuff, and how you kind of open yourself up for this criticism that you wouldn't get in everyday life. And I think it's just kind of this social media effect that we're having in our lives right now. We're comparing our everyday worst part of life to everybody else's highlight reel, you know. I've shared some deep, dark stuff on this channel about the experiences that we have gone through, and I've shared those with you guys, and it's been kind of raw in certain aspects, but I don't share, you know, the train wreck part of everything too. I don't share where I'm trying to cook dinner and my kid's melting down and I'm frazzled and I'm just trying to muddle through those tough times, because everybody has those times, and I'm not immune to that. Everybody has those. Even the perfect Instagram worthy people have those same moments. And I feel like, especially if you're on YouTube, you have this kind of double-edged sword where, you know, everybody expects you to be perfect. You're held to a really, really high standard with everything, but then you're called fake, and then you're not being authentic, and you're not showing the real life and all this stuff that you get accused of for being perfect. And I'm not saying I've had any of these problems that I'm discussing. I'm just sharing my thoughts on this whole thing, and I definitely have seen that. I've seen people get picked apart for the very tiniest little infractions where I'm like, I didn't even, first of all, notice that. I have gotten some kind of nasty comments on my channel, but thankfully the worst comments I think I've ever gotten are about my voice, and like right now I'm sick, so I sound really extra funky, but some people find my voice grating, and that's just tough, buddies. That's my voice, and it's not like I can really change that. I guess I could maybe like try to go to voice lessons and make my voice more appealing to those few people who complain about it. Then I have on the flip side where people say, oh, your voice is so soothing. I really enjoy listening to you. It's really relaxing to hear your voice. And so it's like you can't win, you know? You have this kind of battle that you can't win, you know? You're not going to please everybody. There's always going to be somebody who says something negative, and I'm not talking about like the criticism where people are like, you're not talking loud enough, you're talking too fast, you're talking too slow. That's totally constructive criticism, and I don't take those things personally. My phone's ringing. So this is actually load number 2. Johnny called while I was in the middle of filming and folding that load of clothes, and so I ended up actually finishing folding the clothes while talking to him. So I don't exactly know where I was, but I totally get the, you know, the fear of criticism and the wanting to appear to be perfect. And I get that in some sense, where I don't want to show you guys the, you know, the hashtag real life part of things sometimes, because first of all, who wants to see that? I don't want to film that and have to edit that and see that. And I really want this to be kind of more like a highlights reel, just for the sake of me going back and looking at videos. I want to see the best parts of our day, and I don't want to remember all the, you know, the drudgery type of things. And second of all, I don't want to show that to you guys because I don't want you guys to see the negative stuff. I don't want it to make you guys feel more negative about life. I'd really like this channel to just be uplifting for you guys, and so that's kind of part of it. And another part of it is I don't want to open myself up to the criticism, you know. Parenting is tough, and to have people watching your every move and potentially judging that every move can be a little daunting. So I want to share to a point, but I also don't want to share too much. And going along with that, my biggest concern is Olivia. I feel like there's a fine line between showing too much of her life and opening her up for criticism. You know, I don't want her to one day have these videos found by her little classmates and stuff, and classmates can be cruel. So I really don't want to open her up to be bullied or anything at school based on things that I would show in the video. So I don't want to embarrass her. I don't want her to feel bad about anything that I'm filming. And that's kind of a fine line because while I want to share my life and I want to share what I'm going through, I don't want to invade her privacy. And she's just at an age where she can't consent to be filmed, you know? There's this really weird thing going on with YouTube where these children are being raised in front of a camera. And you know, I documented my whole pregnancy, so Olivia's life is documented on here. And there's this weird phenomenon where these kids are always being shown in front of a camera, and we don't know how that's going to affect their life. You know, we don't know if they're going to be bullied for this, if they're going to have weird complexes from all of this social media. And that's something I worry about as a mom in general, but especially as a mom who does YouTube. I really worry about how this is going to affect my child in the long term. So I don't know if you guys have noticed, but I don't shove the camera in her face a whole lot. I really try to film mostly my day and just show little snippets of her here and there, but I'm really working on not making it the Olivia show and keeping her out of the main spotlight, I guess. I did the monthly updates, and then I did the every 6-month updates, and I did her 3-year update as far as like giving you guys really details of her life, and I think that's going to be it as far as that kind of thing. Of course, she'll be shown here and there, but I've always said this, I don't want this to be the Olivia show. I want this to be my mom life experience and my life experience in general, not just mom life. But I'm really trying to cut back on how much I share of her because I worry about that side of things. I worry about her not wanting these videos up at some point in time. I worry about her being embarrassed of me showing too much, you know? At this point in time, she's really little. Of course, she's not going to be made fun of at school for things, but if I keep going, you know, sharing more of her life at an older age, the more likely it is that, you know, it'll affect her in some sort of negative way, and I'd never want that. My first priority is her and her well-being, and I don't want to jeopardize that by making videos that share too much information about her life. I do think on some level that social media is making lives worse at some level, you know, because you're always looking for the praise and you're always trying to get the views and get the likes and all that stuff, and that can be pretty negative. That can probably give people the wrong aspirations in life, and I've heard some things along the lines of, you know, a lot of the kids these days, they just want to be YouTubers, you know, they want to be famous and they think that's a way to be famous, whereas before, you know, people kind of wanted to be actors and stuff. And it's a little bit different in that way that, you know, anybody can pick up the camera and anybody can be on YouTube. I've got 2 YouTube channels. So my original YouTube channel is a scrapbooking channel. I just wanted to share my scrapbooking stuff. I don't think I monetized my first videos. It was a long time before I realized that you could monetize videos. I just kind of worry about what this social media effect and this YouTube effect is going to have on people, especially my child. I just don't know. And so at that level, I really worry about what I share. I don't want to embarrass or humiliate my child. I really like watching vloggers and stuff, but on the same level, like, I still think about, like, oh boy, is this kid going to be really mortified that this video's up? I really don't know what exactly I'm hinting at here, but I do kind of worry about where all this stuff is going to take us as a society, I guess. I just want to make sure that I'm protecting my child as much as possible, but also trying to be as authentic as possible for you guys because, you know, I do really like sharing. I do like, I especially like the teaching aspect of YouTube. I'm not so sure on the entertainment value as far as me and my channel. I have such a love-hate relationship with the vlogging because I don't want my kid to be embarrassed. I don't want to show too much of her, but I also love looking back at those videos. If I personally sit down and watch my own videos, I'm watching the vlogs, I'm watching the baby updates, and I love having that. And I think to that level, you know, when they're little and babies, there's not a whole lot of personality and privacy needs at that point because, you know, they're babies and it's not that big a deal. But now that she's getting older and she's getting opinions and she's turning into her own little human being, I worry about showing too much of her, and I've definitely been towards this trend of cutting back what I'm sharing about her and what I'm showing her in, and sitting down in front of the camera more, doing vlogs when she's not at home more. And I think that's more in line with, a kid being in school. You're not showing your kid all the time anyway. It'll definitely be more of that sort of trend of seeing just less and less of her as she gets older. Just to protect her privacy. This has just kind of been something that's been on my mind. I had a list on my phone of like social media things, and the main point to me is when you're comparing yourself to other people on social media, that's their highlights reel. That's the best of the best. People want to show the best of the best, and when you're seeing these perfect people, their lives aren't perfect by any stretch of the imagination. They're putting on a brave, happy face for a lot of these things, and that's just not real life for a lot of people. I see the points where people are like, people aren't being authentic, they're just showing the best things, they're trying to appear to be perfect, and I totally understand that thought, because you usually are seeing those highlight reels, and then when people show real things, they get just torn down. And I'm not saying you guys do that at all. I have amazing subscribers. I have been really lucky that this community that we're building right here is really, really supportive, and I've only had like a few really trolly comments, and those I just kind of block and delete. I don't leave that kind of stuff on here to just add to the negativity. Life is negative enough without trolling, so I do tend to block and delete and not look back, not give it two thoughts. I always do really appreciate the constructive criticism when something's, going wonky with the video, or if you have video suggestions. I'm always really open to that because I do want to improve and I do want to film what you guys are wanting to see. So in that aspect, I really try to take the constructive criticism to heart and try to improve things. That's not always to say that that is always entirely going to be possible, but I try my best to work with that information and do the video suggestions, because I really do want to see this channel grow. I would like to do this for a long time, and so finding the balance of sharing too much versus not sharing enough, and being authentic versus trying to make everything seem happy and sunshine and rainbows type of thing, it's just not always going to be possible to do all of that. You're not going to show the best of the best and be super duper authentic. I want to tell you guys the good, bad, and the ugly, but I also want this to not be like a complain fest all the time. I don't want to tell you guys all the bad things going on, because everybody has bad things going on too. Everybody's got things that kind of weigh on them, and I want this channel to be really uplifting, and I want to have a positive spin on things, because I try to be really positive even when bad things happen, and even when Olivia throws a big temper tantrum, I always try to put it in perspective and not harp on that kind of stuff. So I think of our whole entire lives, this last year has been one of the hardest for us. We moved, we had the house shenanigans going on, and I did bring you guys along on that journey, and I did open myself up to be a little vulnerable with all of that stuff. I really think that trying to find a balance there has just been kind of difficult for me, especially now when I'm realizing, Olivia's got a mind of her own, and there are times when I want to film something cute, she does, and I'll pick up the camera and she will get mad. She will not want me to film her, and so I'm picking up on more of that she doesn't want the camera in her face, and I totally understand that. I don't like the camera shoved in my face if I'm doing something. I don't want somebody sitting there, oh, that's cute, let me film you. So I get where she's coming from with that, and I want to really respect her privacy and her boundaries and not make her feel uncomfortable. You'll probably pick up on that more and more, that she's just less and less in the videos, and I of course still want to talk about her because she's my baby and she's my everything, but I don't want to always film her and always have the camera in her face. I think there are a lot of YouTubers that do this mommy lifestyle stuff without always filming their children, and that's kind of where I want to go with it. I would really like to inspire and motivate and maybe teach some things that I learn along the way. I would like to share that kind of thing, and less share the vlogging aspect of it when it relates to my kid. Like when it's Johnny and me and I'm going on a date lunch and that kind of thing. I've been filming a lot of those because I think that's really fun. I'm still learning and trying to figure out kind of where I'm going with, especially with the vlogging aspect of things. I do really like to vlog and I do really like to share Olivia, but at the same time I worry about the social media ramifications. And so So I got to the end of my load of clothes, so that's going to be it for this chit chat. I would love to know what you guys think about, especially about filming your children. Would you do it? Do you do it? I feel like in this social media age, children are just plastered everywhere. You know, I share tons of pictures of Olivia online. I just worry about the implications of that. The older she gets, the more I try to put myself in her position, like, would I really want all these videos of me as a 3-year-old online? If I was little nowadays and my mom was a YouTuber, what would I want? And I would probably be mortified to know there were videos of me as a small child, or, you know, a preteen or a teenager. I really worry about that because she can't really consent to it now. I want to protect her as much as I can. I'd love to know your thoughts about the social media world and the implications and all that stuff. I think I covered a lot of different things about social media, but I wanted to just kind of open it up to you guys, open it up for discussion and see what you guys think. Anyway, I'm gonna go hang up these clothes and put the clothes away. Give me a thumbs up if you like this style of like laundry chat. I feel like we got pretty deep for just folding laundry, so I hope you guys liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel so you can follow me along, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.